Hello, everybody, and welcome to week 11 of the NFL Tribune podcast. I have Ty and Dustin here with me. Say hi, guys.
Hi,
Hi, guys.
Yes, very good. Joe is not here today. He had to go out of town for personal reasons, but that is okay. Wish him a safe flight there and back. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started addressing last week. We already talked about the Thursday night football game, and we're not gonna speak of it ever again because the Panthers absolutely suck. Ty, I guess I'll start with you. So, tough loss to the Buccaneers.
Yeah. When you got an offensive line that couldn't protect anything,
I
can't
unfortunately
really get
cannot.
anything going.
Yeah, scoring 6 points. It's hard to look good behind an offensive line that's bad.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna put any of the blame on Levis.
I mean,
Well,
there's obviously the growing rookie quarterback shit that he's got, but he's getting no help.
You also only got 42 yards of rushing.
Yeah, that was one of my biggest things was watching the fucking game. Every time Henry got the ball, the moment he got the ball, he's already being hit by 2-3 people.
there's a reason the Buccaneers have had the top running defense the past, 3 seasons now?
Like that. I mean, it doesn't help when you have one of the worst offensive lines that have ever played the goddamn game.
I mean, you're not the Bengals line 3 seasons ago.
Oh yeah, it was bad. So I know how bad it was.
And yet Dixon is somehow playing worse with a better offensive line.
They should make an extra difficulty on Madden called the Joe Burrow experience, where the offensive lines are just absolutely terrible.
Or where your quarterback decides to play with a partially torn ligament and
No,
completely tears it.
I've got this. There's only 2 voice lines in the entire game. No, 3. 3 voice lines in the whole game, okay?
Mhm.
Hut, hike, my leg!
Oh my god. I wasn't gonna address that yet, because I wanted to talk about the Titans first. But the Buccaneers have stopped their 4-game losing streak by defeating the Titans 20-6. The Buccaneers are only a half game behind the Saints in the division for the lead, and the Bucks are 4-5.
NFC South is not good. I'm pretty sure we've addressed this every week.
No, you're not getting away with this, Dustin.
I'm not saying that. But if we're still talking about the Titans game, like we said, the one thing I will say about this week with Levis is this looked like the first week pressure was getting to him, and the good thing about it was it's not getting to him to where he's throwing an accurate ball, so he's getting to where he's throwing balls a little too fast, it looks like.
Yeah.
Because there were a few plays where the blocking was good, but he threw the ball too early before his later routes had time to develop.
There's that, and I saw a few more throws that were into double and triple coverage that I was sitting there going, why did you even try that?
And that's still on his line, because if he can't have faith on his line to hold the ball long enough, then what's he supposed to do anyways?
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate. But I want to move on. Funny you mentioned the NFC South. The Falcons went to Arizona and lost 25-23 on a last-second field goal. Dustin, what happened in this game?
The continuance of not utilizing players.
Oh, so let me guess. Bijan Robinson and Kyle Pitts weren't a factor.
Yeah, not at all. We handed the ball off 11 times. Oh no, we actually gave it to Bijan 22 times this game.
Mm-hmm. He did get a touchdown,
but then Tyler Heineke threw the ball 15 times and Desmond Ridder threw the ball 6 times. So absolutely no utilization of Pitts, London, or any of our other really good receivers.
Yeah, London only had 36 yards on 3 catches.
Yeah.
This is the kind of performance that gets coaches fired.
Yeah. The thing about this last week is Arthur Smith has officially come out saying he is not worried about outside speculation on his position, which means he is very worried right now about outside speculation on his position.
Absolutely.
So I think he's starting to realize he needs to get his shit together and start winning games with a team that should be very easy to win games with.
Not only that, a team that should definitely be first place in its division, not third.
Yeah, easily first place.
Also, I consider the Falcons' defense among the best in the league, but they gave up 131 yards to Trey McBride.
They don't seem to know how to play with any kind of mobility at quarterback. Because I look at how Kyler Murray played this game.
Yeah.
It was like watching a repeat of last week. They either played way too high up and gave receivers too much room in the back, or played way too far back and gave the quarterback way too much time to run up front.
Yeah, and with Kyler Murray, you kind of have to worry about that. Because he is elusive.
Just a little bit.
But interesting fact about this past week, 6 games ended on a last-second field goal, which has never happened before. The Falcons game was one of them. What else? We lost to the Texans on a last-second field goal, which was unfortunate. There were some turnovers that we had in the game that we just can't do.
Browns beat Ravens.
Yeah, the Browns came back from 16 down to beat the Ravens. Ravens blew that game. There was the Lions-Chargers game, which the Lions won 41-38 on a last-second field goal. The Seahawks beat the Commanders 29-26 on a last-second field goal, and this is one I want to talk about. The Bills and Broncos Monday Night Football game. Broncos won it on a last-second field goal, 24-22. Josh Allen turned the ball over how many times in this?
Two interceptions and a lost fumble, I believe.
3 times. Also, James Cook had 2 fumbles, one of them lost. So that's not good.
No.
And it ended up costing Ken Dorsey his job. I kind of think he maybe was the scapegoat in all this, but they had to make a change.
I mean, there is a scapegoat, but the change should have been, honestly, at this point in the season with how he's playing, probably quarterback.
Oh yeah.
As much as I said, Allen's he's been a great quarterback past couple of seasons, but for some reason this season seems to be some kind of collapse for him.
Ever since Brian Daboll left, he just hasn't been the same guy. So I think having a good OC who understands you matters.
Yes.
So Joe Brady's taking over for offensive coordinator, so I don't know how their offense is going to look. I'm going to assume that not much is going to change, but they don't have an easy game this week. Say that.
He'll be fine.
The Jets almost had a chance to beat the Raiders on Sunday Night Football with a last-second Hail Mary, but it shouldn't come down to that because it was only 16-12. There's a lot more plays that the Jets could have made because the Raiders were trying to hand them that game.
Oh yeah, it was something.
Yep. Zach Wilson's just not that guy.
Brees Hall with 13 rushes for 28 yards. Dalvin Cook 4 rushes for 26.
Yep.
Zach Wilson with the most rushing yards for the team with 54.
Yeah, 54 yards rushing by Zach Wilson. If your quarterback's your leading rusher, there's something wrong. And it's the Raiders defense is not all that good. Like, why are they giving you issues?
Because you're the Jets.
Also,
and you
I
can't
love how
have good things.
I love how the only pick that Zach Wilson threw in the game was the one that mattered the most. Yeah,
How it happens.
He hadn't turned the ball over up until that point.
That's Zach Wilson. He's not going to win the game for you, but he sure as hell can lose the game for you.
Yeah, but despite all of that, despite all the turmoil the Jets have been through this season, they're still in contention for a playoff spot.
Somehow.
Yeah. It's very middle heavy with the AFC.
This is honestly probably just all around probably one of the worst seasons I've seen teams in the NFL be, just in general.
Except for the Lions. Lions are killing it.
Yeah. Well, I mean
overall,
over half the teams in the NFL right now you can just look at them and say that's a bad team.
Yeah. We can look at the Cardinals, Giants, and the Panthers and say, oh yeah, they're bad. They're really bad. But there are some like they're bad, but they keep winning. Like Pittsburgh, for example. Like they're
Well,
not
that's
all
because
that good.
everyone else is bad. It's just they're not as bad as everyone else.
Yeah. Speaking of bad, the Germany game. What did we do to those poor Germans?
Oh.
10-6, the Colts beat the Patriots. Is this the? I know in terms of points, it's not the worst loss, but it feels like the Patriots' like most embarrassing loss they've had so far.
And this feels like the Colts' most embarrassing win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the Patriots have just been embarrassing all year.
And Mac Jones got benched again for poor play, even though nobody's gonna say whatever the excuse is for him. There's none left now. He's been in the league. This is his third season, right?
Yeah.
I'm kind of getting the same vibes that from Marcus Mariota when he got drafted, because the Patriots have had a different offensive coordinator every single year he's been there. Because at first it was Josh McDaniels, then he left, and then Matt Patricia was calling plays, and then he left, and then now it's Bill O'Brien.
The only conceivable anything that you can give Mac Jones is what receivers has he had?
Nobody. Jacoby Myers
Right.
he used to have.
They've given him help on he's the opposite of most quarterbacks in the league. They've given him help at offensive line. They've given him help at halfback. They have not helped him at receiver at all. And a quarterback needs a receiver to throw to.
And they're not good at drafting receivers. They can't. They need a playmaker, and they just can't get one.
If you're going to have a quarterback like Mac Jones, you need a receiver. Mac Jones isn't going to win you the game. He's not going to lose you the game. But you get him a top-tier receiver, and he could win you the game. That receiver could do it for you.
Yeah. I don't know how much of the Patriots' lack of success you can pin on Mac Jones, but a certain bit has to go towards him.
Oh yeah, they drafted him expecting him to be the next Tom Brady.
Yep.
Because he has a similar play style, he has a similar attitude, and that gave them false confidence, which is sort of on him, but also isn't, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I put it more on the organization for not giving him enough help at receiver. Which, I don't know who's in charge of the drafting, but how do you get so many receiver picks wrong? It's concerning. Because they drafted N'Keal Harry, and obviously he didn't pan out. But other than that, most of the guys they brought in have either been like low tier free agent signings or just late draft picks that they hope would maybe develop. Because they've had Wes Welker, who was undrafted, but he was still really good. Julian Edelman, who was a college quarterback, and he ended up being a really good receiver. Who was that guy's name? Chris something, that rugby player. I forgot his name. They had him.
Staley? Chris Staley?
No, I don't think it was Staley. But you know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they have not had a lot of like standout receivers. So whatever they decide to do there, they need to make it happen. Because if the way they're playing, they're gonna have a really good draft pick, and if there's a receiver up there, I would definitely grab one of them if I'm New England.
And at this point, if you're New England, go with who you think you don't want to pick. That's going to be the good receiver.
And if Bill Belichick likes the receiver, don't pick that receiver.
Yeah. What else do I want to talk about? San Francisco came off of their bye week and they feasted on the Jags, 34-3. Trevor Lawrence didn't look good at all in this game. Travis Etienne didn't get a whole lot of production, but behind an offensive line that couldn't protect Lawrence, I'm not really surprised. Lawrence was sacked 5 times. He threw 2 picks. He only threw for 185 yards. CJ Beathard had to come in for 2 snaps.
Brock Purdy with 296 yards and 3 touchdowns. McCaffrey came back playing. Samuel came back playing. Kittle came back playing. This is exactly what I thought this week was going to be. They came back and they said, "This is ours."
Because when Debo was out, there was really nothing special about the Niners offense. But now that Debo is back, like you see what San Francisco's capable of.
Also, how about Chase Young coming in off the trade from
Commanders.
Commanders and getting his first sack.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Yep.
First sack in his first game with the Niners.
I wish him the best. He's a really good player. He deserves a shot at it. I want to say this about the what's up.
Also, before we go to another game, have y'all heard the controversy behind Brock Purdy yet?
Controversy. What's up?
He is being investigated for faking a concussion.
What?
He is being investigated for going into concussion protocol for under false pretenses.
Wow. Like he himself willingly did that.
That's what he's being investigated for. I don't see any player ever doing that.
Yeah, there's like no reason to do that.
Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny that you talk about investigations because the Bengals are being investigated for not disclosing a potential injury that Joe Burrow had.
What's up with that this year? Falcons and then the Bengals? Which honestly, I don't think every injury needs to be reported. I don't see the reason in investigating that. If the player doesn't want the team to know or the team doesn't want the NFL to know for planning purposes, they shouldn't have to tell them. But what is up with 2 teams in one season doing it?
What I don't understand is, let's just assume that Joe Burrow didn't want to inform the team of his injury. Would you still put it on the team for the team to be at fault? Because they don't know.
On Joe Burrow's specifically, if it was his decision to hide it from the team, yes, because there's photos of his hand being about the size of a baseball before and after the game.
Yeah.
And practices this week. So you can look at his hand and tell something's wrong there.
Apparently, from what I saw, the Bengals deleted a video that showed his hand all wrapped up like that.
Yes.
That's where you get investigated and you are at fault no matter.
Yep. So I'm a little bit concerned right now. So I don't know what the final punishment's going to be. But for us, it seems like it's a lost season at this point. Jake Browning's probably going to be the guy going forward. And he's not terrible, but he's nowhere near a Joe Burrow. So I'm probably going to wrap it up with the season now. We're probably going to go 5-12 and probably have a decent draft pick.
You're going to win some other games. It just depends.
Have you seen the rest of our schedule?
It depends on how your team bounces back.
The only mildly decent foe we have in front of us is the Colts. All the rest of them are really good. Because we still have to play the Steelers twice, the Browns once, Minnesota, Jacksonville, and maybe one more that I can't remember right now. But yeah, it's not looking good. I wanted to talk about the Lions-Chargers game real quick. So, if you needed another reason for Brandon Staley to get fired, it's this game. How are you going to be a defensive guy and you give up 41 points in a game? Jared Goff, he didn't make any mistakes in this game. He was 23 for 33 for 333 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, and they also ran all over them. Amon-Ra St. Brown himself had 156 yards and a touchdown on 8 catches. That's a lot of offense to give up. And if you're supposed to be a defensive guy and you can't stop teams like that, like you shouldn't have your job. Like, you're not doing a good job. Justin Herbert played a near perfect game and it didn't even matter in the end. Lost.
Nope.
Which I kind of feel sorry for him because he plays well enough to win a lot of games.
It's also hilarious that they are exactly the most mid team ever.
Yeah.
Honestly, Justin Herbert played a better game than Jared Goff, except for the 1 interception. 10 less yards, 3. What was that? 2 more touchdowns.
1, I think.
Yeah. No, 4 touchdowns for Herbert, 2 for Goff.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, man. Charger's going to Charger at this point.
Yep. They're way too talented of a team to be 4-5. Like, it's ridiculous. They have the same record as the Jets. It's kind of ridiculous.
Don't worry, they'll win this week and they'll be 5-5 to finish out their whole. Everything is exactly mid, perfectly balanced.
That's probably like the last eventful game that happened this week. All the others, it didn't really matter all that much. So I guess with that, we will move on to everybody's favorite segment. Now, before we start, I want to tell you guys I'm implementing a new sort of option in NFL trivia, right?
Okay.
I'm going to implement a hint system where if you're a little bit like stumped on one and you want a hint, I will give you a hint. But the thing is, it'll only, if you get the question right, it'll only be worth half a point. And of course,
if anyone takes a hint, I will mock them relentlessly.
Yeah. So you are allowed to ask for one hint, but it'll be worth half a point instead of one full point. So there is your trade-off. And I decided to test it out with some very easy questions. Like, these are pretty much gimmies. And I'm not making it up. They're pretty much gimmies.
I'm not going to get a single one correct.
Exactly.
Don't do it on purpose. Want to at least like try to make it competitive.
Ask for a hint on every single question and then get it wrong on purpose.
Anyway, Ty, go ahead and Defen. We'll get started. All right, Dustin, you ready?
Sure.
All right, timer's gonna start after I read the first question, and here we go. Which team currently leads the NFC South?
49ers.
Who currently has the most passing yards in the NFL?
Oh shit. Go Josh Allen.
All right. Who currently has the most touchdown passes while also throwing the most interceptions?
Most touchdown passes and most interceptions, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Jameis Winston.
All right. Which starting quarterback currently leads the league in completion percentage?
Brock Purdy.
All right. And what team was the Panthers' only win against?
Oh god, I should actually know this one. Falcons.
All right. That is time. Go ahead and
I'm sorry, Kane. I had to.
Justin.
I'm sorry, Kane. I really am.
Fast.
I'm sorry. That was hilarious. I'm sorry. Kane asked me the first question, and I answered. And he's like,
Oh. I'm trying my best to help you guys out, but you're not helping me.
I'm sorry. I feel like this is going to be a hit with all the audience.
You know, it may be. It may be. But, Dustin, go ahead and Defen. Alright, Ty, you ready?
Are you ready, kids?
I mean, maybe. Timer will start after I read the first question, and here we go. Which team currently leads the NFC South?
Currently leads the NFC South is the Jaguars. NFC? Sorry, not AFC. NFC Saints.
Alright. Who currently has the most passing yards in the NFL?
Are we talking person? CJ Stroud.
Alright. Who currently has the most touchdown passes while also throwing the most interceptions?
Most touchdown passes with the most interceptions. Let's go with oh, I would forget his name right now. Wow. Niners quarterback. Why am I blanking? I can't remember his name. I'm blanked.
You want to skip to the next one then? Maybe
I mean, you know who we're talking about.
Just say the name.
God damn it.
You can ask for a hint.
I don't want no hint.
Right.
Brock Purdy.
Okay. Which starting quarterback currently leads the league in completion percentage?
Let's go with. This is gonna be one of those quick trick questions where it's like a backup came in and was
Nope. The current starting quarterback, not a backup.
Okay.
If you want a hint, you can ask.
Nah, fuck it. Let's go Mayfield.
All right. And what team was the Panthers' only win against?
Texans.
All right, that is time. Let's go ahead and tell Dustin to undeafen.
Man, that took a minute.
Yeah.
I got stuck on one of the questions. I couldn't remember. I could not remember Brock Purdy's name for the life of me.
Oh, that's good.
I also forgot to start the timer whenever Ty started, but I don't think it'll matter.
I have the fastest time.
No, you didn't. I can
Not
guarantee you
even
right now
close.
you didn't. Okay, so let me go ahead and go over this. Oh no. All right, question 1. Which team currently leads the NFC South? Dustin said the 49ers, which I guess was a good guess. They do lead a division, just not that one. Ty said the Saints. It is the Saints. Saints lead it at 5-5.
I'm sorry, Kane.
Okay, damn it. Really, Dustin? All right, anyway. Who currently has the most passing yards in the NFL? Dustin said Josh Allen. Ty said CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud is actually second. The most passing yards in the NFL right now is Sam Howell.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
He currently leads the league in passing.
Okay, then.
Which I wanted to go for a question where it makes you go like really, after you hear the hear the question.
I think you got that.
Easy.
I did. All right, so who currently has the most touchdown passes while also throwing the most interceptions? Dustin said Jameis Winston. Ty said Brock Purdy. It is Josh Allen. He's thrown 19 touchdown passes and 11 interceptions.
I did say Brock Purdy. Okay.
Yeah, you did say Brock Purdy.
Sorry.
All right, which starting quarterback currently leads the league in completion percentage? Dustin said Brock Purdy. Ty said Baker Mayfield. It's actually Dak Prescott.
Boo.
Actually, thought that was Brock Purdy. That was a serious answer.
Brock Purdy is second. So that was a very good guess, though. I'll give you that. And number 5, what team was the Panthers' only win against? Dustin said the Falcons. Ty said the Texans. It is the Texans. Their only win has been against the Texans. It was a few weeks ago, if I remember correctly. And with that, Ty wins.
Yeah.
So, Ty,
I promise it will be serious next week, Kane.
I don't believe you.
It will be serious, but when I get a really stupid one wrong, I'm going to play it off as me doing it on purpose.
You know what? Fine. Whatever. So, Ty, you're only one behind Joe for the year.
Nice.
With that. So I guess we'll go ahead and do our predictions for week 11.
Yep.
Okay. I hate the Thursday night game. We're not going to talk about the Thursday night game. Stupid and dumb and stupid. Okay, so we have 6 divisional games this week. So the first one we have is Titans at the Jags. Jags are 6.5 favorites to win, and I'm taking the home team. I'm going Jacksonville.
And until my offensive line shows that it's not going to crumple like a wet napkin, I'm going Jags.
Dustin?
So you're telling me that I'm the only one going with the Titans this week?
I guess so, unless Joe decides to, which we need to tell Joe to send in his
the other
picks.
thing. The last 3 or 4 weeks, the opposite of what I've predicted with the Titans has happened. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Remember, the other week we had the Sunday game against Falcons and then the Thursday game against the Steelers, and I bet that they were going to lose to the Falcons but beat the Steelers, and the exact opposite happened.
It's funny how that works, isn't it?
Fuck you.
No, I was actually being serious. I wasn't joking.
Fuck you.
Wow. Wow, the hostility.
All right. Next, we got the Chargers at the Packers. Chargers are only favored by 3 to win. Which I want to mention this right now. The Chargers are only 1 game ahead of the Packers because the Packers are 3-6. And I would say the Chargers are much more talented.
The Chargers have to win at some point. I give it to the Chargers.
I'm going Chargers as well.
What is it again?
Chargers, Packers.
Chargers, what?
Packers.
Packers. Chargers.
All right. Oh, next, Joe's not gonna like this one. Giants at Commanders. Washington is 8.5 favorites to win, but Daniel Jones isn't playing. They have Tommy DeVito. I'm going Washington. I think they'll get this one.
You know what?
Washington.
Daniel Jones isn't playing. We're going Washington.
All right. Ty, you said Washington?
Yep.
All right. Then we have Raiders and Dolphins. Miami's 13.5 point favorites to win. I'm taking the Dolphins.
Such a laughable game. Yeah. Dolphins.
All right. Ty?
Yeah, Dolphins.
I'm going to be so upset if that's the game that the very huge underdog wins.
Here's a little bit of an underrated game, maybe. Cardinals travel to Houston to take on the Texans. Texans are 6 point favorites to win. I'm taking the home team.
I think I'll take the Texans also.
All right.
Yep.
Watch this be a close game.
It's just playing too good right now.
Oh, next divisional game. Bears at the Lions. Detroit's 7.5 point favorites to win. I'm taking Detroit.
Detroit.
Not even a contest there. The Bears are just that bad. Speaking of bad, we got the Steelers and the Browns. Cleveland's 2.5 point favorites to win, despite not having Deshaun Watson. I'm taking Cleveland on this one. I think the Steelers' reign of bullshit has to end sometime.
I'm going Steelers.
All right?
I'm going Cleveland.
Essential Browns fan. Oh, Dustin, you talked about laughable games, right?
Yes.
Cowboys, Panthers. Dallas is 10.5 point favorites to win. I'm taking Dallas.
You see, I said laughable games. I didn't say just make random jokes.
No, that's not a random joke. It's actually happening.
It may be happening, but it ain't gonna be football. we gonna roll them Cowboys.
All right, Ty.
Say it again.
Cowboys, Panthers.
Cowboys. Yeah, that's not even.
Okay, another sort of laughable game. Buccaneers at the 49ers. San Francisco's 12 point favorites to win. I'm taking San Francisco.
San Fran.
If the Bucks had anyone other than Baker Mayfield at quarterback, I'd actually probably take the Bucks this week. But we're gonna go San Fran.
All right. Another divisional game. The Seahawks at the Rams. LA's favored by 1 point to win. I'm taking Seattle.
Seattle. The Rams.
Seattle and the Rams. Yes.
Fuck it, Rams.
All right.
I'm going Seattle as well.
Okay. Another divisional game. The Jets at the Bills. Buffalo's favored by 7, but I'm taking the Jets.
Nah, I think I'll roll Jets.
I'm going Bills.
Okay. Sunday Night Football. The Vikings at the Broncos. Denver's favored by 2.5. I'm taking Minnesota. They're red hot right now.
You going Minnesota?
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll roll Minnesota.
Same.
The power of Josh Dobbs.
Just think, the Browns had Dobbs at the beginning of the season, and they traded him away.
They did. Okay, so Monday Night Football, we have the Eagles at the Chiefs. Now, Kansas City's favored by 2.5 to win. Now, before you say anything, I watched Brandon Perna's video on his power rankings, and he spins a curse wheel, right? He cursed the Chiefs this week, so I'm absolutely taking Philly because of that.
I was taking Philly anyways. I think they're the better team.
Yeah, same Philly.
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 The only other thing we have to do is see what next Thursday's game is. It is going to be. Wait a minute. Oh, it's Thanksgiving. We got 3 games to pick on that day. You guys just want to pick those 3 games?
Yeah.
They're all divisional games. Okay, Thursday, Thanksgiving. First up, we got the Packers and the Lions.
Lions.
All right. I am. Oh, hang on. That's the wrong place to put that. I'm also taking Detroit. Ty?
Yep. Detroit.
Next, we've got Commanders and Cowboys. I'm gonna take Dallas just to play it safe.
I'm gonna take Commanders.
All right.
I think I'm going to roll Commanders as well.
All right. And then we have the Niners and the Seahawks. I'm taking San Fran.
San Fran.
San Fran.
All right. Wait, there's a game on Friday?
Yeah.
I guess we gotta pick Friday's game too.
Yeah.
Dolphins, Jets.
Oh.
Dolphins.
I don't know. It's going to be a competitive game, boy. It's going to be a competitive game. Them Dolphins going to really beat them.
All right, so I guess Dolphins.
Yeah.
All right.
It's going to be competitive in terms of they're going to be competing as to who has the most yards against them.
Yeah, that's true. So could the Dolphins drop 73 on them?
Let's not get too crazy here.
Let's not get too
They're
crazy.
going to drop 80.
Oh, yeah. That makes a lot more sense. That's a better number. I guess with that, that's gonna